All right. As much as I hated on that you won MVP of the finals in 2015, talk about that Golden State team a little bit, if you don't mind, will you please?
Man,
Yeah,
loaded.
I have been I've been thinking about that recently because the Warriors are doing something really special for me, something super dope, and so
Shout out to Warriors for doing that.
I had to get my mind like you got to get ready for something.
You gonna
so
cry?
Like, nah,
I
because
don't mean to cut you off, but I cried.
well, I don't know because, and I had to tell.
I said I wasn't gonna cry.
I had to tell my man Zaza. So Zaza Pachulia and
Zaza.
I just saw Zaza, right?
Shout out Zaza.
Zaza's a real one. And so I had to tell Zaza, he was like, "You excited?" I'm like, "Zaza, honestly, I don't feel nothing because I'm so busy. I ain't even had a chance to think about it." You know what I'm saying? And you know how you and I are, how we are. It's like, all right, what we doing next? Let's get to it.
Yep.
Let's get to it. So we don't even allow ourselves to reflect or even enjoy our successes. Because we like, man, all right, I did it.
1,000%.
Whatever, man, I did that. Let's go to the next thing. And so I'm like, I've been so swamped trying to show up for the family, trying to show up at work, doing all these things. Like, I ain't really had a chance to think about it. But I had started preparing my mind like the first championship team. And I go back to my, I laugh about the bronze and D Wade and Bosch's interview. Bronze like not one, not two, not three.
yeah.
But I go back to my press conference, which was much smaller. Like I'm only thinking like it's local. It ain't gonna pick up no national news. Dwight Howard was the top tier for that free agency. But I mentioned like, I just played against this team in the playoffs, and then they gave San Antonio a run. Like I feel like I'm that piece that can be the one that kind of gets us to the next round or have an opportunity to look at a championship. Now, I never won a championship. I never been past the second round, so I don't know what it's like. So, it's always cliche to say you're going to win a championship. Obviously, the Heat, y'all going to compete for a championship every single year when Bron says that. So he's right in saying that. But for me, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like it's something here where I can help. You don't know you can compete for a championship until you get there the first time.
Yeah.
And so building that team, we were just super tight-knit. We were winning games. We know Steph is Steph. Mark Jackson then told us, Steph is Steph. Y'all gonna see in a minute he gonna be MVP. Mark Jackson had been saying this for like 2 or 3 years already before anybody was thinking about it, which was a crazy thing. He was like, Steph's our guy. Nobody on his team getting his way. Now, how many times you done seen that where a coach tell the whole team, hey, man, ain't nobody gonna get in this dude's way.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to be a part of that team. I'm like, that's beautiful. Because we ain't gonna have no hating, we ain't gonna have nobody not setting screens, we ain't gonna have nobody stealing rebounds. Like we know what time it is. And so we just had a really close, tight-knit group. And as we're winning, it was building organically. Like we don't even know we got something special, but everybody's approaching it the right way. And you know how it can be in professional sports. Like it take one guy to get mad at it take one guy to be mad that he didn't get a shot, and they can spiral the team out of control.
I tell people it's like a bicycle chain.
Yep.
It's like a bicycle chain, bro. One link is dusty as and ain't oiled. You got to change the whole goddamn thing because it just ain't gonna work. Before we get to that, though, I want to touch on because you went to Denver.
Yeah, I went to
before
Denver.
you were there.
Yep.
And you just missed Melo.
Yep.
But you did play for George Karl.
Yep.
How was that playing for George Karl? And I don't understand it because I fuck with Melo and competing against Melo, he one of the best to pick up the basketball. What the fuck, George Karl? What's up with Melo? Why George Karl keep with Melo? Like what?
But Melo ain't the only one. If you go on Twitter,
what is going
like,
on? Why
George,
you crashing out? What
George
you tripping about?
Georgia sent me a shot
Oh, he shot you. He shot you too.
every twice a year.
Really? What now?
So-
I got respect for him. I don't know him personally, but for what he's accomplished as a coach, I have respect for him. But what is this about?
So we're playing the Warriors in the playoffs when I'm in Denver. Mind you, in Denver, we still got the team record for most wins in the regular season. The Denver team I was on,
How many is that?
57, I think we won. It's the most wins in Denver Nuggets, regular season history.
Wow.
Jokic and them, they supposed to break it. History will tell. Time will tell. But we had a really good team. Gallo tore his ACL with like 7 games to go. Gallinari did. And Gallo was Gallo. Gallo was the best player on the team.
He was a bucket.
Gallo
I
was-
think he live in Miami now, if I'm not mistaken.
Gallo was
He's
different.
a Miami guy now.
And then Timothy Mozgov was important to us. Mozgov was better than people think too. He broke his finger or something the last game of the year.
Was that before he went to Cleveland and got paid?
Yeah, it was before that. It was before that.
He was with us in Cleveland when they beat us in the finals.
It was before all that. And so that's why I won MVP because y'all kept putting him on me. But we'll get to that.
It's disrespectful. Dre.
Right. And Mozgov can play. So those two go down. We go against the Warriors in the playoffs. It's 3 versus 6 seed. We did 3 seed. And so when we're matched up against them, we win game 1, they win game 2, and then they won both games at home. And we had an interesting game strategy, right? And the strategy wasn't necessarily X's and O's. And so we're playing a certain type of physicality. Mm-hmm. That's not really our true DNA.
Yeah.
So it don't even look right.
Yeah.
What we trying to accomplish out here. Like, this ain't us. We ain't never did this before. And this ain't even an X's and O's thing. So we just basically about to lose. We know, we players, we got a sense of what's going on. We high IQ players. And so Mark Jackson, I'm taking the ball out in front of the Denver's bench, and Mark is like, yo, why y'all playing like this, man? Like, why y'all trying to do this to my guys? Like, what's like, come on, dog. Like, keep it a buck. Like, what we doing? And I'm like, Mark, I don't play like that, fam. I'm a real hooper. I don't do that. That was the conversation. Mm-hmm. Throw the ball in, keep going to hoop. Now, after the game, Mark is like, I got word from one of the Denver Nuggets players that their game strategy is to hurt my guys and play dirty. That's how Mark interpreted it, right? Not the words that happened.
That's not what you said.
Right. I'm like, Mark, I don't move like that, fam. Like, I'm a real hooper. I ain't got to do that to win. Yeah. I don't move like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so we lose the series because certain coaches, they're known to fall short when they get real. Everybody got a scouting report.
Yeah.
I got weaknesses in my scouting report. You got weakness in your scouting report. You got weakness in your scouting report. And everybody can talk about it. But once upon a time, it was like coaches were off limits. Y'all got to be held accountable too.
1,000%. 1,000%.
So certain coaches have the most regular season wins in NBA history, but they can't get nowhere in the playoffs. And then now the truth is coming to light. And this is like the beginning of a coach winning Coach of the Year and getting fired the same year. That's what happened. So we got a mole on our team, is what George Karl comes out and says. We got a mole. We got a guy on our team telling the other team our game plan. Man, that ain't a game plan, first and foremost. This is not a game plan.
Detroit Pistons against the Bulls. Jordan rules.
But they had actual game plan behind the Jordan rules. If Jordan gets to a certain point, you do this. If Jordan does a certain thing, you do a certain thing.
Oh,
ours was like,
y'all didn't even have that. But y'all had some brass knuckles.
Man, elbow him in the head. Just tackle him. And I'm just
you want to be physical, but you don't want to be like, you don't want to be, yeah.
So it's like, I'm coming up to you, D. Hey, who the first person you gonna hit tonight? What you gonna say?
What you talk about, Dre? Like, I ain't just hitting nobody just to hit him. Like,
no, you gonna say the biggest dude I can find.
That's
who you hitting.
Like, you mean if it's a fight?
Because we ain't got no game. No. We need people to feel our physicality. Just hit somebody. And I'm like, all right, cool. We gonna play more physical. But don't go ask my 7-footer who the first person he gonna hit. And
that's weird.
And he looking at you like, I'm gonna hit Steph. I'm like, wrong answer.
Yeah.
Go hit Bogut.
Yeah.
Because Bogut whacking me full court. That's how Steph getting open.
Yeah.
So it's like, and this ain't even planned out. This is a pregame speech. All right, we're gonna be physical. So who you gonna hit tonight? It's like, oh, now we putting this game plan in. Like,
yeah, that's different. I've been about physicality and I've been about competition my whole life, but I've never been sat at a meeting with coach like, who you gonna hit tonight? I ain't never had that conversation.
And your big picks the smallest person.
Yeah,
like
I'm like, cut that shit out.
And so I'm looking. I'm like, they asked me like, who you gonna hit? I'm like, I'm gonna go hit Bogut. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hit Carl Landry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm hitting them. They gonna feel me.
I'm gonna hit the toughest dude.
Yeah.
If I can hit him, if I can show weakness in him, then the rest of the team gonna crumble.
But it's just like, I'm like, what we doing? And then it's visible because we don't know how to do it.
Yeah, that ain't y'all thing.
We practicing it. We missing hitting them. And so Mark looking like, hey man, what y'all doing out there? This ain't hoop. And that's why we losing. We down 3-1. We already were down 3-1.
Y'all didn't even play. I hate, and I understand there's adjustments, but I hate when you get to the playoffs or you get somewhere where you've played a certain way and you've established an identity, and all of a sudden when you're playing against a certain team or in a certain series, you just want to scrap that identity.
The whole thing.
I hate when coaches do. To me, that's overcoaching. Like that's like you do what the you do. You make adjustments. You alter different things throughout the game, but you do what the you do.
Because one thing about Doc was really good at, I'm going to have a counter. So I'm going to put in all this false action over this side to really get to what I need to get to on this side. And it's true it's like, instead of me getting to Paul Pierce as a first option, because I know he can give me a bucket, I'm going to have boom, 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 make the defense react over here. Now I'm going to get Paul set up in ISO situation over here after a few actions so the defense can't load up on him.
I never played for Doc. Mike, was Doc in Orlando? Did you play for Doc in Orlando, Mike?
Yeah, I played for
One thing,
his coach for rookie.
I'll let you speak on Doc, but I will tell you this. In those playoff series against the Boston Celtics, we knew what Doc was going to run, but they got a shot every time.
Yeah.
We knew exactly what Doc was going to run. We knew if it was going to be for Ray. We knew if it was going to be for Paul. We knew exactly. But he would get a good shot every time out of the timeout. That drove me crazy. Whether we win the series or not, I want to win the series. Right. But I would always reflect back, how the f they always get a good shot out of a timeout? How does it happen? Like, just speak on that, because both of you, I mean, y'all had the opportunity. I never sat in the huddle with Doc, but he draws up, and they going to get a shot.
And I'm the same way. I never played for Doc, but I'm seeing it like, he drew up he drew up a game-winning play, and I'm like, we was all over here, and the play was, I'm like, oh, that was incredible.
Yeah, talk about that, Mike, because you've been in the huddle with Doc, bro. He gets shit. He draw it up.
Doc was elite. Doc was elite with it, but what Doc did was let his talent win, right? Like, he never got in the way of that. We talk about what you guys is overcoaching. He simplified stuff and let his like Hebe Brown said a long time ago, X and O's give you Jimmys and Joes, right?
Yeah,
Jimmys and Joes. He understood who he had as players, and he allowed those guys inside of a system. Yes, he dictated a system to get those guys player shots, but Doc simplified stuff. Man. My players are better than your players, what he thought. And a lot of times they were.
Like a true hooper. Yeah. That's how hoopers think.
And that's what I'm saying
that's true hoopers.
And that's what I'm saying about this how the game's going. Yeah. And so it's funny because, that's his excuse. He got one other job after that, George Karl did. He went to SAC, and it was short-lived with DeMarcus. And now him and DeMarcus at odds.
Really?
So he wrote a book, and he spoke a certain way about Kenyon Martin and J.R. Smith, talking about, NBA black players not having fathers because we're known not to have fathers. Like, he went off the deep end.
George.
Right? So,
I don't know.
And so every, once or twice a year, we got to go through this where he was like, oh, here's the mole. Or he's like, this is the best team in Denver Nuggets history, except one guy.
That's crazy.
Right? And so the funny thing about that was my best statistical playoff series of my career.
Wow.
I was going crazy.
But you was just hooping. You wasn't on the...
Right. I'm about to get to this. Like, I'm going to put y'all on my back. Let's get to it. Now, we lost 4-2, whatever. Like, I go home, but it's like you just said earlier, like, man, I left it all on the floor.
Yeah.
And so, like, that is unfortunate with George and how it keeps coming up, like the bitterness. And it's like, come on, man, you only got but so much time left on earth, man. Like, breathe some fresh air and enjoy the rest of your life. Like, you sitting on Twitter every day trying to get back at people. Like, ain't nobody listening.
I understand that.
You know what I'm saying? And now I understand the disconnect the disconnect with him with Melo. Because Melo's at peace too. Like, Melo's like, all right, man, go about your business, dog. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it was some weird shit between the number 15, Melo wearing a number, or Joker wearing a number, and different things like that. And I don't really get into that shit, man. Two things can be true.
Right.
Melo could have been great for Denver when he was there with the number, and Joker could be great in Denver right there with the number now.
It was the first time where basketball fans thought light blue and gold was the coolest color mixture.
Yeah, you're right.
MJ and them, Jordan brand is releasing Jordan shoes not because of Carolina, because they the mellow colors. Like, we talk about the influence he had on the game of basketball. Like, let's not your bitter feelings because you didn't get your way get in the way of greatness.
I mean, I was with them boys. It was an opportunity for me to go to Denver when I ended up signing back to Miami. It was an opportunity to go to Denver, and it was Denver and, if I'm not mistaken, Dallas.
Yeah, I remember Dallas.
I ended up going back to Miami.
I remember
had
Dallas.
An opportunity to go to Denver because I was JR, Melo, Kenyon Martin. Like, I'm looking at them dudes.
Chauncey Billups.
I'm looking like I fit in.
Yeah.
I fit in there perfect.
Yeah,
obviously, but the only opportunity in my mind to win, the best opportunity was here.
Right.
And it worked out. But all right, football fans, things getting real. Whether your team has made it to the conference championship or not, there are still plenty of ways to enjoy the game. Get in on the action right now with my partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. They're offering all new customers $200 in bonus bets instantly after betting just $5. Do not let this slip away. Download the DraftKings app now. Sign up using codes OGs. The crown is yours, people. Stay in on all the action and use your $200 in bonus bets on DraftKings same game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same game. Love the thrill of live betting? DraftKings got you covered. Bet live on in-progress games right as they happen, making watching the game that much more exciting. If sports betting is not available in your state, don't even worry about it. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code OGs and bet just $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code OGs only on DraftKings Sportsbook.